welcome back to Digit.in. My name is Vignesh and I'm here at the house of Mobisi where they have a slew of e-bikes for us to test. And how it works is basically by downloading an app on your phone, and then you have the e-scooter here, which is mostly around Gurgaon and Hyderabad at the moment, but then we should see it in other cities like Delhi and Bangalore. So you take your phone, you find one around you, you scan a QR code, you step on it, and then you go away. And it has a range of up to 25 kilometers. I think it's 45 kilometers if I'm not mistaken. And you can ride up to the whole range actually, in fact. And they charge you something like 5 rupees plus another 1 rupee per minute every minute you ride. And let's see how it works. So we have with us Mr. Akash Gupta of Mobisi, who I hope is kind enough to tell us more about the e-bike we have here today, the Zip. That's correct? Yeah. Hi, sir. What can you tell us about Mobisi and the Zip e-bike we have here today with?
Yeah, so basically, Mobisi is India's first leading electric scooter sharing app. What we are trying to do here is to solve micro commutes, because the biggest suffering for people is when they go from a metro to office, office to home. These distances are usually within 2 to 3 kilometers, but then the options that people have to cover these distances are not very conducive, because taking a cab for such a small distance is usually too high on the pocket. They'll charge about 80 to 100 bucks. Taking an auto would be about 50 to 60 bucks, right? That 2 kilometers ideally should be a 10-20 rupees ride, and should be most convenient without any wait time. So what we are trying to do is that, once the user comes, they have the app, they can just find these scooters on the app, go to any scooter, unlock it by scanning the QR code on it, ride it to the destination, and then park it. That's it. So till the time that you use it, we charge you. Otherwise, so usually your ticket size for this is about a 20 bucks, where you can cover 2 to 3 kilometers. Convenience, affordability, as well as, lesser pollution. These are the three main tenets of Mobisi.
Okay. So great. And let's look at it from the consumer perspective. Now, it would cost me approximately 20 rupees per ride, let's say.
Ideally, yes.
Yeah.
So how we charge is, we charge you 1 rupee per minute, and we charge a 5 rupees to unlock, right? So what we see is that usually your 2 to 3 kilometers would take you 10 to 15 minutes, right, to cover that distance on a speed like this, right? So that 15 minutes is what we charge for a 15 bucks and a 5 to unlock. So our ticket size, if you ask me, is about an 18 to 19 bucks every ride on a Zip scooter every day. So yeah, and people are loving it that way.
Oh, so you've had takers?
Oh yeah, so from that 150,000, we've gone to about 250,000 plus users now, right? And our app ratings are rocking, in terms of the feedback. So we were at a 4.1-ish when we launched Zip, and now we are at a 4.4, right? So that's a solid uptake in terms of the user experience, in terms of, the positive feedback. And there's a huge stickability is what we are seeing in this, because people are, once they've moved to this is the commute, for them then, after that day. Yeah.
So let's talk about the e-bike itself.
Sure.
So does it have a lithium-ion battery there?
Yeah.
If I'm
That's
not
correct.
mistaken. Yeah, on the platform there,
Absolutely.
right? On the base. Yeah.
Yes.
And that's good for a range of...
So it runs a 45 kilometers on a single charge.
Wow,
right now.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Correct. And since our distances are 2 to 3 to 4 kilometers, so there's no range anxiety as such, which is there in a lot of electric commutes, right? Because our pricing is also such that we would want users to use it for small durations, right, to cover their short distances. And for that, this battery is enough. It runs a full day, for us to cover about 10 trips, right, a day. And then we put it on charge during the nights.
Okay.
Yeah.
So could you walk me through a day's, a day in the life of this Mobisi
Sure.
e-bike?
Sure.
So it's charged in the morning, or is it charged at night, and then?
Sure. So we start at 8 in the morning when we start serving the Zip scooters at the key hotspots, of the city to the people.
And what's charging like? I mean, is it
the charging
I know
time?
the whole system is dockless and things like that. So
Correct.
you don't go and park it somewhere after you're done.
Yeah.
But when someone from Mobisi actually takes the scooter and
Yes.
charges it overnight.
Yes. Yeah, so charging for us is a 3-hour job ideally. When we put it, so there's a charging point out there. We put it on, a plug point along with the charger, right? That's how it takes about 3 hours to get the full battery done, right? That's the job that my team does. So we don't let users to get into any kind of a hassle. Once their hassle is to just get on the app, scan the QR and ride and leave it at the destinations. So right now, while we work in geofences, so let's say I operate in a specific 5 kilometer radius, that's when the users are allowed to park this.
Right.
But outside that, we are currently, let's say, not serving. We'll slowly start serving more and more areas of the city as the spread increases, as the demand increases, as the distribution increases for us.
Right.
But right now, we want to ensure that in that micro market where we are live, there's a huge availability of these scooters.
And Mobisi is now live in a number of cities, I assume.
Yeah.
Right?
So right now we are live in Gurgaon,
Okay.
small entries in Delhi,
Uh-huh.
and we are in Hyderabad.
Okay.
You know, these are the 3 cities where we are currently focusing on.
Right.
But yes, so this has disc brakes. This has a good LED lamp, so that you can travel in the nights. This has a good basket to put your, handbags here. It has a good hook out here where you can put a bigger bag if you want to. So a Zomato or Swiggy can also use this, and they are using these for deliveries, so they can put their big bag out here. It has a reflector at the back so that, you're safe that ways. And a good battery life, a good leg room, so that you can place your feet properly at ease, and a horn out there, so that you can just beep in if you want to. And the beauty is that the best part again is riding it and covering the red lights, because when you're on a red light, the beauty is that you can always stay at the front if you're on a zip. The best part is how you can just maneuver between the cars, because it just hardly takes any space.
Right.
So that's again another thing that people would love. It has tubeless tires, right? And yeah, it has a good motor which can last almost 5 years as a shelf life.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about the battery's life though? I mean, is that also 5 years or?
So batteries usually in Indian context run about 3 years.
Okay.
They come with a warranty of about 2 to 2.5 years, right? So anything with a warranty of 2.5 years, I think would run about 3 years easily.
Right.
So it's a good quality lithium-ion battery, which is swappable again. So we can swap the battery if we want to, during the daytime. So that's the concept that we're working on. And battery tech in India is improving. There are a lot of startups working on it. There are a lot of established companies working on the battery tech. We are actually moving in that direction, that as it keeps evolving and developing, we keep improving the product at our end.
So I think this being a bicycle will not require registration.
Yeah.
And I won't have to worry about a policeman coming and asking me where my helmet is and where my license is. Is that correct?
Oh, that's right. So thanks to the laws, and these are international laws, that anything which runs below 25 kilometers an hour, you don't need a helmet, you don't need a license, you don't need a registration for the bike. Right. So it works in some way to help the disruption on electric mobility that we are trying to drive. While we take the user's license or Aadhaar for the safety of the bike, doing their KYC, but as such, it's not required, right? So since again these are short distances and the speed is low, it's pretty safe. We offer insurance on riders also. Every ride you can get insurance. The scooters are all insured. While it looks, the beauty is that it looks like a e-bike or a cycle, and it can work like a scooter. So it's somewhere in the middle, bridging those two paths.
Right.
Yeah.
That's nice. So I've got 2 more India-specific questions for
Sure.
you. So one is, I know a lot of people tend to ride doubles, as they call it. So let's say one user takes a scooter up, scans the QR and all of that, and then starts riding, but then wants a friend to come along and
Sure.
sit, maybe in front of them, maybe even on their lap.
Sure.
Have you?
So it can run for sure. It can take a load of 150 kgs and can run very, fine. So that's not a problem. While we've not given a provision of a second seat, because what we would like them to do at that point is to take another zip. It hardly costs $1, right? You just take 2 zips and ride along together. It'll be much more fun rather than taking all the hassle of having someone on the lap on a small scooter. We don't recommend that. But yeah, I think it's otherwise the spec is pretty robust to take that also in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. I think that's about the questions I had for Zip.
Sure.
It was nice talking to you, sir.
Oh
Thank you
no,
so
don't
much.
call me sir. I'm Akash for you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Pleasure talking. Thanks for it.
For the latest technology updates, subscribe to Digit.in and don't forget to hit the bell icon.